You know how some cartoons just had to get a video game adaptation at some point? It was the early 2000s, and if your show was popular enough for more than 5 minutes, boom, it had a game. And today I want to talk about one of its more recent ones, which I saw on the Steam page, called Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. A game a lot of people forgot existed, and honestly, after playing it, I can kinda understand why. Rugrats was a cultural phenomenon, alongside SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, and Fairly Odd Parents, and the concept behind the show was genuinely clever. Everyday objects became massive obstacles. The stairs was a mountain, the dog for some reason a bounce pad. The living room was a whole level. Everything felt dangerous, dramatic, and adventurous, because as babies, what if that's how they see it? So on paper, turning Rugrats into a video game made total sense. And honestly, it almost feels like Rugrats was designed to be a platformer in my opinion. But that's where we're about to find out. A good idea doesn't automatically mean a good game. Now, Rugrats Adventures in Gameland is a side-scrolling platformer. No crazy mechanics, it's just your classic left-to-right platformer. And you know what? That fits the game pretty well in my opinion. That's how I feel a Rugrats game should be. The game turns your normal locations into exaggerated levels. Like the treehouse outside became a massive level where you had to fight a monkey. The attic became a castle that you had to get through. And the sandcastle, or the sandpit outside, became a massive fort, which you had to go through all the levels of. Now, conceptually, this is exactly what I wanted a Rugrats game to be. You're not saving anything massive, you're just being sent on an adventure these kids have brought up with their own imagination. Now, the game is broken into 6 main levels, each with a different theme, and the core objective is simple. Collect 18 coins to unlock the final level. That's it. There's no side quests, no optional challenges, no real variation. Each level plays mostly the same, just with new visuals, difficulty, and new obstacles and NPCs. While simplistic, this doesn't always mean it's bad. And that, in my opinion, could be tolerable if the controls were rock solid. But they're not. Jumping doesn't always feel consistent. Sometimes you swear you made a jump, and the game just says no. This could be that I was on an old controller, and that might be why, but I have seen similar complaints online before. The hit detection can feel off, enemy collisions feel kinda unfair at times, and when the game punishes you this hard for making small mistakes, those little issues turn into big frustrations. It stops feeling challenging, and it starts just feeling blatantly annoying. Each Rugrat technically has their own personality, with slight waivers in their gameplay, but the difference doesn't matter too much. You're still doing the same jumps, avoiding the same hazards, and repeating the same sections over and over. The charm isn't doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's clearly made for kids, but it's not very forgiving. Most kids' games, especially in this type of thing, has checkpoints, extra lives, and some way to ease frustration that the kid gets when playing and dying a lot. But this game says nah, it expects near-perfect platforming, so younger players get frustrated and us older players get bored or annoyed. It falls into this awkward middle ground, where it's too punishing for kids, but it's too shallow for adults, which is kind of the worst place a game can land. Now, I will say, credit where credit's due, the visuals is probably one of the best things in this game, and they have a 8-bit choice, which I also really liked. It brought back that old retro look, which I really liked. It fully commits to the Rugrats look. It feels hand-drawn and messy, crooked environments, weird proportions, and this loud and chaotic colors. It actually feels like a cartoon, like someone shoved a Rugrats episode straight into a game cartridge. And for a licensed game, which as we know, they normally do the bare minimum, this effort matters. Sometimes the visuals are doing more work than the gameplay itself, but at least we could see they tried something in somewhere. The sound design is also very on brand. Cartoon sound effects, bouncy playful music, and the classic Nickelodeon chaos energy just really builds onto it. But does that make it any more memorable? No, not really, because it's not like you're gonna be humming the soundtrack years later for this game. But does it fit the game? And yeah, it does a lot, and honestly, that's all it needs to do really. Now, in my opinion, the problem with Adventures in Gameland is that Rugrats has multiple games. Some were better, some were worse, but Nickelodeon was pumping these things out continuously. So if your game wasn't amazing, it got buried. And Adventures in Gameland wasn't awful, it just wasn't special. And it didn't introduce anything new. It didn't take risks, it didn't evolve the formula, it just existed. And when it had all these other games, that it wasn't really enough. So that brings me to my actual question. Was it good? Was Rugrats in Gameland worth buying? Was it worth my money? Is it worth your money? Honestly, I guess that would be up to you, but in my opinion, not really. It's not terrible, but it is frustrating. The lack of checkpoints hurt a lot, the slightly buggy mechanics add up, and the repetition will weigh you down as well due to the buggy mechanics. It feels like a game with a solid core idea that just didn't get enough time, polish, or care. And that's the worst part. Because you can see the potential, you just don't always enjoy playing it. And that's the problem, and that's why most people probably forgot about this game. It's not because it was awful or bad, it was because it didn't stand out. The idea was right, the visuals were right, the source material was perfect, but the execution, not so much. And sometimes forgotten doesn't mean bad, it just means almost good. But tell me what you think. Was I just too heated in my review after being frustrated after playing this game? Is it actually a good game, or what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below.